This is TCT's Daily Major. I am Brian Dabreo, and these are your headlines. The Prime Minister says government's main concern is bringing some measure of immediate relief to the struggling people of this country. There was a sitting of the House of Assembly this Tuesday. St. Lucia's Honorary Council to Lebanon donates a mechanical ventilator to the Victoria Hospital, and Caribbean countries receive US $8 million to reduce health risk from toxic chemicals. TCT's Daily Major is brought to you by Dublin's Bottling Company, Farron's Food Products, Ramco Chowming, and One Caribbean Newspaper.
Nothing will keep us together. Oh, we can be heroes just for one day.
More than a third of our children are now overweight or obese, and some reports indicate this will be the first generation where the children might not outlive their parents. Cardiovascular disease is the leading cause of death in the United States, and the leading cause of death for African Americans, Hispanics, and whites. 25 million North Americans are diabetic, and roughly 2 million people are diagnosed with diabetes every year. BioSlife, the clinically proven natural fat loss.
For more information or to purchase this product, contact Ramjay at telephone 716-1400 or 450-0495 or email ramjay35@hotmail.com.
One Caribbean newspaper is dedicated to the unity of our people in one Caribbean nation. We invite you to write us and tell us what's bothering you. No matter what it is, as long as it's within the law and it doesn't offend the public conscience, we will publish it. Send us your pictures. Tell us of your weddings. Tell us when, unfortunately, you have deaths, and we will publish the death announcements. One Caribbean is a newspaper dedicated to the unity of the Caribbean. Write to us at onecaribbeanltd@gmail.com or dennisdabero@gmail.com, and we will publish what you write, as long as it is within the law and it doesn't offend public decency.
Welcome. Prime Minister the Honorable Alan Shastney delivered an address to the nation on Monday evening, during which he spoke of the government's achievements as it relates to the five to stay alive and the progress on the final component, which is the reduction of value-added tax. The Prime Minister also spoke about the government's proposed 4-year strategic development plan for St. Lucia. The Prime Minister stated that despite the present economic climate, our government's main concern is bringing some measure of immediate relief to the struggling people of this country to get businesses flowing once again. This is one of the reasons we have pushed ahead with implementing our 5 to Stay Alive proposal, despite those who said it could not be done.
One of the first things we took care of was a decrease in the vehicle license fee, which became effective on September 1st. I know that motorists throughout the island took a collective sigh of relief and are appreciative that we were able to lessen this burden on their backs. Another component of 5 to Stay Alive that we will achieve in this school year is increasing the school bus subsidy and expanding the school feeding program. As we stated clearly in our manifesto, taking care of our nation's children is at the forefront of our priorities. We want to ensure that our children get to school safely and they are well fed and ready to learn without having to be concerned about where their next meal is coming from. Children should not have to be burdened with these thoughts.
A 3-year residential tax amnesty, a further part of the 5 to Stay Alive, takes effect on January 1st, 2017 until December 31st, 2019.
We know that almost everyone's dream is to own a piece of land and a home in their country, and government must assist where we can to make this dream a reality. We're acutely aware that people are finding it more difficult to pay their mortgages, and this 3-year grace period will go a long way in helping homeowners meet their obligations. In addition to the waiver, we encourage persons to take advantage of the current tax amnesty offered by the Inland Revenue Department. Another promise, 5 to Stay Alive, was a targeted amnesty on healthcare services. Too many people are dying who might have been saved if they were able to afford it. We're mindful of this, and the Ministry of Finance is working with the Ministry of Health on the proposed targeted amnesty on healthcare, which we can expect to begin on the 1st of December 2016. This would mean that pensioners who earn less than $1,000 monthly would have their healthcare bills waived. This would also apply to unemployed persons and individuals on the poverty list. I'm especially happy that this included a waiver for dialysis patients who are without insurance.
The Prime Minister said that he is pleased to announce the delivery of the final promise of 5 to Stay Alive, the reduction in value-added tax.
In our manifesto, we promised the people of St. Lucia a restructured tax regime that will be less burdensome but without compromising the revenue base. And we aim to keep this promise. Value-added tax affects all of us every day. It has destroyed businesses and drained our people to the core. We did not take the decision to reduce VAT lightly, however. We took time to review the current VAT system. We've commissioned a study by Ernst & Young, and they undertook a comprehensive review of the VAT. Combined with the CDB report and our discussions with various financial agencies such as the ECCB and IMF, we received several recommendations on reforming the VAT system. Hence, I can announce to you today that our government will reduce the standard rate of value-added tax from the current 15% to 12.5%. This reduction will become effective as of February 1st, 2017, and will mean that an estimated $52.5 million a year will be pumped back into the hands of the people of this country.
Prime Minister Chasney also made mention of the airport redevelopment charge, which his government is proposing to reintroduce as of April 2017.
This is not a new charge. St. Lucia previously had this charge, which had no effect on our tourism arrivals. In fact, if we had kept this charge, we would have collected in excess of $200 million, which is half of the monies needed to build a new airport. During our review, we found that most other Caribbean countries charge about US $100. In essence, St. Lucia has been foregoing US $75 per passenger, or EC $100 million a year in revenue.
A sitting of the House of Assembly was held this Tuesday, November 8, 2016, with papers laid and bills presented by the Honorable Prime Minister and Minister for Finance, Economic Growth, Job Creation, External Affairs and the Public Service, the Honorable Minister for Infrastructure, Energy and Labour, the Honorable Minister for Economic Development, Housing, Urban Renewal, Transport and Civil Aviation, and the Honorable Minister in the Office of the Prime Minister with responsibility for commerce, industry, investment, enterprise development and consumer affairs. The following motions were done for consideration. Be it resolved that the Parliament authorizes the Minister of Finance to guarantee a loan for the Water and Sewage Company, Inc. in the sum of US $14,798,000 from the Caribbean Development Bank for the John Compton Dam Rehabilitation Project, comprising A, an amount from the Caribbean Development Bank's are not exceeding the equivalent of US $1,297,000 allocated from resources provided by the Inter-American Development Bank under the Inter-American Development Bank Caribbean Development Bank Finance Agreement dated 21st May 2013. B. An amount from the Caribbean Development Bank's ordinary capital resources not exceeding the equivalent of US $13,501,000. Be it resolved that Parliament, by affirmative resolution, approves the draft value-added tax amendment of rate order which varies the rate specified under Section 10(1) of the Act. Be it resolved that Parliament, by affirmative resolution, approves the draft value-added tax amendment of Schedule 3, order which amends Schedule 3 of the Act. The bills for consideration include the following: Money Laundering Prevention Amendment, Code of Civil Procedure Amendment. Speaking at this Tuesday's sitting of the House of Assembly, Prime Minister the Honorable Alan Shastney stated that we would like to reduce the VAT rate from 15 to 12.5%.
We've brought this motion to the House, Madam Speaker, in order to be able to amend the VAT or VAT tax rate. As announced last night, Madam Speaker, in my address to the nation, that we have contemplated the VAT rate and have come to the conclusion at this particular juncture that we want to reduce the rate from 15% to 12.5%. In order to make this determination, Madam Speaker, we conducted several studies. The first study that we had conducted, Madam Speaker, was a diagnostic study done by the Caribbean Development Bank, led by the Caribbean Development Bank, which included the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, which also included the World Bank and the IMF. That report, Madam Speaker, was very, very informative in terms of the desires of the government. So clearly, in reading that, in preparing that report, Madam Speaker, we decided to address the situation head-on and provide the CDB with an outline of what the overall objectives are for the government, Madam Speaker. It has long been believed by our government that the level of taxation in this country is too high. And that what in fact was happening was the amount of monies available in circulation was causing a further contraction of the economy. And that the policy or the idea of increasing VAT to 15% in a time of a recession further contracted and exasperated the situation.
Opposition leader the Honorable Philip Pear, in his presentation to the House, spoke of the impact of VAT.
We never hid it. We never said that things were gloriful and nice. We said that the economy is showing signs. We did not say that there were hidden taxes in gas, and because of this government, the price of gas was going up, and lead demonstrations for the price of gas, when we knew very well that the price of gas, we had absolutely no control over the price of gas. Only now, we needed to come to government to know that we had no control over the price of gas. But when we were in opposition, we led demonstrations. We said there were hidden taxes, and we promised to show where the hidden taxes were as far as gas was concerned. Up to now, we haven't seen that. So let us look at the impact of VAT. We collected 350 million from VAT in last year. The VAT rate was 15%. That means 15% equals 350 million. So 1% equals to 23.3 million. So 2.5% equals to 52.2 million. That is the revenue that we are going to lose when we reduce VAT by 2.5%. Let me make it clear. Let me make it clear that this party, we have absolutely no problems with reducing the burden on the people of St. Lucia. That has been our history.
That's right.
We have absolutely no problems with that. But what we say, it must be sustainable and it must not be for cheap political gain. I want, Madam Speaker, for you to bear with me. Let me show you how the reduction in VAT will affect the ordinary citizen. Remembering, we are the government of NICE. We are the government that directly put money in the economy to employ people. We are the government that created NICE so that the elderly people at their homes who are lonely and who have nobody to take care of them, the government will pay somebody to take care of them. We are the government of NICE. We are the government for NICE. And that is the NICE and the step that they criticize all in opposition. And as soon as they came into government, they used step as a political tool to victimize supporters of the St. Lucia Labour Party.
You are watching TCT's Daily. Major still to come. St. Lucia's Honorary Consul to Lebanon donates a mechanical ventilator to the Victoria Hospital.
Crystal clear, that's what we drink. When I want to quench my thirst, bring a bottle of crystal clear. It's so refreshing. I don't want no other water. The choice is crystal clear. Cool the temperature. Revitalize me with. Give me a bottle of water. All on the road is inside the bottle. Everybody's drinking water. Crystal clear, yeah. It's so refreshing. When I want to quench my thirst, bring a bottle of crystal clear.
The choice is clear. Crystal clear. Premium, purified drinking water from Jubilee's Bottling Company Limited.
The way you smile at me is everything I dream.
How is that boy running up?
The way you smile at me.
Your Lucelec bill has been redesigned to give you more information. The top portion of your bill contains an invoice number, Lucelec's VAT identification number, and customer address. A past due stamp is displayed if your payment is overdue at the time of billing. Ignore it if you've already made your payment. To the right is a barcode for easy processing of your payments at Lucelec's customer service offices only. The billing summary highlights any amounts due from the prior billing, total of all payments made between your last bill and your last payment date, any other charges or credits to your account, any fees for returned checks or reconnection, VAT charges on these fees, the balance brought forward, your current charges for the billing period, the total amount outstanding on your account, and the date by which it should be paid.
Experience the flavor of icy. Icy, yeah. Icy. Pop it up. Let's start the party. Ooh, yeah. I like the flavor. Ooh, yeah. I love the taste. The orange and the pear, the cherry and banana, the apple, ginger beer, or strawberry for your mama. Grapefruit, cola, champagne, sorrel if you wanna. Quench your thirst first, have an icy soda water. Icy, yeah. Icy. Pop it up. Let's start the party. Ooh, yeah. I like the flavor. Ooh, yeah. I love the taste. Icy. Experience the flavor of icy. Bottled by Jubilee's Bottling Company Limited.
Ramco pasta is a master. Your staple of choice because the quality is superior. No gluten, no white flour, 100% semolina. Ramco pasta tastes better, I swear. Ramco pasta forever. When I using mac and cheese, bon. Give me some more, please. Ramco have variety, go Betty to Betty, and Fusilini. Ramco, the taste we know, met you. Now available at all leading outlets. Distributed by Ramco. For more information, call 450-0495.
Thanks for staying with us. Clients of the Victoria Hospital are now benefiting from the donation of a high-tech German-made mechanical ventilator donated by His Excellency Malik El Said, the Honorary Consul for St. Lucia to Lebanon. Mr. El Said said the main functions of the Council are to represent St. Lucia on a diplomatic level and to assist the government and people of St. Lucia with the needs of the country. He said, stemming from a request made by the Victoria Hospital, funds were raised to assist in purchasing this ventilator. The Victoria Hospital has been utilizing this vital piece of equipment within the ICU unit for over a month now, though the formal handing over took place on Monday, November 7th.
And we are very happy that we had a tour inside. We saw that the patients are being treated carefully with the use of this ventilator, and we thank the Victoria Hospital administration. We thank the government of St. Lucia for allowing us to inspect and see how this ventilator is working. The government actually is very interested into expanding the collaboration between our consular mission and the hospital into future needs for the hospital.
Dr. Becky Jean-Baptiste, consultant anesthesiologist in the intensive care unit at the Victoria Hospital, said the ventilator is outstanding with the number of functions it can perform to assist the patient with breathing.
What the ventilator does is that it gives breaths to the patients. So patients who are critically ill, who are unable to breathe for themselves, like patients who've been in severe motor vehicular accidents and with other illnesses as well, who are unable to breathe for themselves, the ventilator will breathe for them while the doctor and nurses care for them.
The executive director of the Victoria Hospital, Ms. Janet Hughes, said discussions with Mr. El Said on procuring the ventilator commenced in January of 2016 via the Washington office. She added that this high-tech piece of equipment will be among the list of equipment transferred to the Owen King AU Hospital during the transition.
Mr. El Said kept his promise, and he ensured that we had the ventilator delivered on time at Victoria Hospital, and for this we are extremely grateful. As you know, we will be transferring a lot of our equipment to the new National Hospital, albeit we have new state-of-the-art equipment already donated by the EU. This ventilator is definitely high on the list to be transferred. Our intensive care unit at the new National Hospital, our Owen King EU Hospital, has 6 beds. But as anything else, we need backup equipment, we need additional equipment, and this ventilator will be transferring with us to the Owen King EU Hospital.
The Honorary Consul for St. Lucia to Lebanon has been representing St. Lucia on a diplomatic level for the past 6 years. The United Nations agency responsible for the promotion of responsible sustainable tourism is partnering with the Caribbean Tourism Organization to deliver a regional workshop on sustainable destination management and marketing next month. The 5th to the 9th December workshop, which takes place in St. Lucia, is being delivered by experts selected by the World Tourism Organization and will explore issues related to competitiveness, quality assurance, and sustainable destination criteria, with a strong emphasis on trends, best practices, and success stories aimed at helping destinations compete globally, according to Bonita Morgan, the CTO's Director of Resource Mobilization and Development. We have the advantage of having the UNWTO bring to us expertise with international experience, models, and success stories as we expose the participants to what the possibilities are out there to help them develop a better product or deliver a better service so their overall strategy for destination management and marketing can be successful, Mrs. Morgan said. Among the key areas being explored are innovations in marketing, destination competitiveness, developing sustainable tourism experiences, and successful models in destination management and marketing. The first day is being billed as a forum and will be open to a broad spectrum of stakeholders in St. Lucia so that they can benefit from the experiences and expertise of the UNWTO facilitators, as well as allowing as many residents as possible to share their views and experiences with a local and regional audience. Topics to be covered will include global and regional tourism performance and trends, consumer trends and effective marketing, pillars of sustainable and competitive destinations. A number of site visits have been included in the program, during which participants will use the information they garner to critique the local destinations and use the experience to help enhance their own products and tourism services. In response to calls by the government of St. Lucia for assistance in reconstructing the St. Jude Hospital, the government of Mexico has contributed to 3 of the hospital projects. More in this report.
The government of Mexico, via the Infrastructure Fund Trust for Mesoamerican and Caribbean countries, offered to donate 3 hospital projects, namely the construction of a morgue building, construction of the security monitoring and ambulance building, and the supply and installation of the external area lighting of the hospital, all with associated renewable energy solutions. The external lighting, however, is scheduled to be delivered when the hospital is in its final stage of construction.
These components have been gladly supported by Mexico based on the firm conviction of the benefits they represent for the people of St. Lucia. We want to thank the government for all their efforts to give the people a stronger and more efficient healthcare system. I also want to congratulate St. Jude Hospital personnel as well as UNOPS for ensuring transparency during the process, both in terms of budget and time. And I think the quality of the project that I have had the opportunity to look around the more component and right here today speaks of the good job they have done.
Minister for Economic Development, Honorable Guy Joseph, stated that the projects were funded to the tune of US $2.7 million. He had high praise for the project implementation company, UNOPS, for their professional workmanship and efficient project management.
Today we are here to mark the handing over of the ambulance facility and the morgue. But the reality is, this is the component of the hospital that was not funded at the time when they were engaged, and we are happy that they came on board. The government of Mexico, through UNOPS, in implementing this phase of the project. They may have been the last set of persons to come on board, but they have been the first to deliver.
During his address, Prime Minister Honorable Alan Chastney thanked the government and people of Mexico for their generosity to St. Lucia, while providing the reassurance that the government is focused on delivering the St. Jude Hospital to the people of St. Lucia in the soonest possible time.
It is no secret that this project has tested the extreme patience of our nation. And while I must beg for more tolerance from the good people of this country, I also have good news. Thanks to the generosity of the people and the government of Mexico, thanks to them for taking on the construction of the ambulance and security building, the morgue building, and for facilitating the external area lighting. We understand and appreciate the importance of partners such as the people and the government of Mexico, who continue to support our efforts in guaranteeing our citizens and visitors top-class health care.
Governor General of St. Lucia Dame Paulette Luisi and Ambassador Socorro Flores Liera unveiled the plaques to the Security Monitoring and Ambulance Building and the morgue. They were accompanied by the Prime Minister, other government ministers, and specially invited guests. From the Ministry of Health and Wellness, I am Glenn Simon, reporting.
Exposure to toxic chemicals found in household cleaning products, processed foods, and even clothing can severely damage a person's health. Dr. Ahmed Khan, Director, Basel Convention Regional Center for Training and Technology Transfer for the Caribbean, stated that some pesticides, cleaning agents, and industrial chemicals contain hazardous properties which can cause cancer, developmental delays, dysfunction of the reproductive organs, and reduce immunity. Dr. Khan explained that one particular group of these toxic chemicals is referred to as persistent organic pollutants. He added that exposure to POPs can be through direct contact with the chemicals, consumption of contaminated foods, or environmental exposure by air, water, and soil. In light of this, Dr. Khan emphasized the need for the Caribbean region to make the management of toxic chemicals to protect human health and the environment a priority. Recognizing the importance of this issue, the BCRC Caribbean, in collaboration with the United Nations Industrial Development Organization, prepared a project document outlining the work required to strengthen the capacity of Caribbean countries to manage POPs. They also approached the Global Environmental Facility and were successful in acquiring approximately US $8 million to support the project. The Caribbean Public Health Agency will implement the necessary activities to assist 8 Caribbean territories update their national implementation plans for POPs management, which includes the conduct of in-country POPs inventories and related capacity development. Countries benefiting from this project are Antigua and Barbuda, Barbados, Belize, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Suriname, and Trinidad and Tobago. Now for the weather report. Present weather at Huronora cloudy with showers. At George Charles, partly cloudy. Sunrise tomorrow, 6:01 a.m. Forecast for St. Lucia valid for the next 24 hours. Winds will be blowing from the east-southeast near 15 miles or 24 kilometers per hour. Weather partly cloudy to cloudy skies with some scattered showers and possible thunderstorms. Seas slight to moderate with waves 3 to 5 feet or 0.9 to 1.5 meters. Forecast for the Lesser Antilles. Partly cloudy to cloudy skies with some scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms. Tropical weather outlook. Moisture and instability in the lower atmosphere over the eastern Caribbean will cause some scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms to develop over the islands during the forecast period. Tropical cyclone formation is not expected over the tropical Atlantic during the next 5 days. Finally, unbelievable but true. We now invite you to have a look at what this differently able youngster can do. Another unbelievable but true story. We're keeping it real thus far for the week. You understand? Here is where we come to the end of this edition of TCT's Daily Major. But before we go, another look at the headlines. The Prime Minister says government's main concern is bringing some measure of immediate relief to the struggling people of this country. There was a sitting of the House of Assembly this Tuesday. St. Lucia's Honorary Consul to Lebanon donates a mechanical ventilator to the Victoria Hospital. And Caribbean countries receive US $8 million to reduce health risk from toxic chemicals. TCT's Daily Major was brought to you by A's Bottling Company, Farron's Food Products, Ramco Charming, and One Caribbean newspaper. As usual, on behalf of the entire news team, I am Brian Dabrio. Thanks for viewing.